Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies. Everybody is here. As many of you know, last March, when it was announced that I was no longer in the Black Muslim movement, it was pointed out that it was my intention to work among the 22 million non-Muslim Afro-Americans and to try and form some type of organization or create a situation where the young people, our young people, the students and others, could study the problems of our people for a period of time and then come up with a new analysis and give us some new ideas and some new suggestions as to how to approach a problem that too many other people had been playing around with for too long. And that we would have some kind of meeting and determine at a later date whether to form a Black Nationalist Party or a Black Nationalist Army. There have been many of our people across the country from all walks of life who have taken it upon themselves to try and pool their ideas and to come up with some kind of solution to the problem that confronts all of our people. And tonight we are here to try and get an understanding of what it is they've come up with. Also, recently, when I was blessed to make a trip or a pilgrimage, a religious pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca, where I met many people from all over the world, plus spent many weeks in Africa, trying to broaden my own scope and get more of an open mind to look at the problem as it actually is. One of the things that I realized, and I realized this even before going over there, was that our African brothers have gained their independence faster than you and I here in America have. They've also gained recognition and respect as human beings much faster than you and I. Just 10 years ago on the African continent, our people were colonized. They were suffering all forms of colonization, oppression, exploitation, degradation, humiliation, discrimination, and every other kind of Asian. And in a short time, they have gained more independence, more recognition, more respect as human beings than you and I have. And you and I live in a country which is supposed to be the citadel of education, freedom, justice, democracy, and all of those other pretty sounding words. So it was our intention to try and find out what was our African brothers doing to get results so that you and I could study what they had done and perhaps gain from that study or benefit from their experiences. And my traveling over there was designed to help to find out how. One of the first things that the independent African nations did was to form an organization called the Organization of African Unity. The purpose of our organization of Afro-American Unity, which has the same aim and objective, to fight whoever gets in our way. To bring about the complete independence of people of African descent here in the Western Hemisphere and first here in the United States, and bring about the freedom of these people by any means necessary. That's our motto. The purpose of our organization is to start right here in Harlem, which has the largest concentration of people of African descent that exists anywhere on this earth. There are more Africans here in Harlem than exist in any city on the African continent, because that's what you and I are, Africans. The Charter of the United Nations, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Constitution of the United States, and the Bill of Rights are the principles in which we believe, and that these documents, if put into practice, represent the essence of mankind's hopes and good intentions, desirous that all Afro-American people and organizations should henceforth unite so that the welfare and well-being of our people will be assured. We are resolved to reinforce the common bond of purpose between our people by submerging all of our differences and establishing non-sectarian constructive programs for human rights. We hereby present this charter. Number one, the establishment. The Organization of Afro-American Unity shall include all people of African descent in the Western Hemisphere. In essence, what it is saying, instead of you and me running around here seeking allies in our struggle for freedom, in the Irish neighborhood or the Jewish neighborhood or the Italian neighborhood, we need to seek some allies among people who look something like we do. And once we get their allies, it's time out for you and me to stop running away from the wolf right into the arms of the fox, looking for some kind of help. That's a drag. Number two, self-defense. Since self-preservation is the first law of nature, we assert the Afro-Americans' right to self-defense. The Constitution of the United States of America clearly affirms the right of every American citizen to bear arms. And as Americans, we will not give up a single right guaranteed under the Constitution. The history of unpunished violence against our people clearly indicates that we must be prepared to defend ourselves, or we will continue to be a defenseless people at the mercy of a ruthless and violent racist mob.
The long-awaited decision in the Huey Newton murder trial, which has drawn worldwide attention, is now very near. The jury of 7 women and 5 men are deliberating the fate of the Black Panther leader on the 8th floor of that building. It is their job to decide whether he is guilty of killing Oakland policeman John Fry and wounding Officer Herbert Haynes in a pre-dawn shootout last October 28th. 2 floors above the jury in his cell, Huey Newton, who has made almost no show of emotion during the 8 weeks of trial, calmly awaits the decision of the jury. I talked to Newton in the jail.
As far as the proceedings thus far, that the courts have only reflected the racist attitude of the general power structure, that I haven't received a fair trial, that I should not have been indicted in the first place. I was indicted by a blue ribbon grand jury, a middle-class white grand jury that did not represent a cross-section of the community. And
you say you don't feel you've had a fair trial?
no.
Why?
Number one, the judge has been very racist throughout the proceeding, very pro-prosecution, that I don't feel that I should have been tried at all, and if I had been tried, if there was an inkling of reason to try me, I should not have been tried for first-degree murder. That if the judge had not been a racist, that he would have amended the charges to a manslaughter, perhaps. The very fact that he didn't dismiss the whole charge reflects his racism.
Some of your supporters have said that the trial, that you are a political prisoner,
that are oppressing people of color all over the world, and on a local level, the police, fascist police, are suppressing, repressing the white revolutionaries as well as the blacks who speak of and who are attempting to attain liberation. So I am not standing for violence, but I do stand for self-defense.
Back to the trial for one moment.
Could you just keep on talking?
What about your future? If you're on the street next week.
I will continue to organize the black community in a political fashion. I will help in the campaign of Eldridge Cleaver for president, my own campaign for 7th Congressional District. And I think this will be a large job because it's going to be done from a grassroots level, from door to door in the community. It will we will consider the people on 7th Street who stand on the corners, who have lost all faith in this society. And matter of fact, all other, we will attempt to rehabilitate them, to show them that there is possibly some gains in political action, and if it's sincere, and if the black people have exclusive control of it within their community. So in my campaign.
You say, you got enough, Steve?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
There are programs that are detrimental to the community that have been supported essentially by the city and put upon the people by the city with really very little understanding on the part of the board members. And there are programs such as the Senior Citizens Transportation Program, which we've mentioned, which we attempted to get pushed through this board or pushed through the city, and which the city rejects through its various bureaucratic rules and so forth and so on. It's very difficult to talk about anything so concrete as someone here being given some side money. But it is very easy to see that the Model Cities program, after 3 years of operation in the city of Oakland and West Oakland in particular, has done essentially nothing for the people other than put in some streets and a few bus stations that will protect people from the rain partially. I definitely feel that that is directly related or indirectly related to the whole scheme of still attempting to make the party look as though we're a group of hoodlums or thugs or criminals.
We would hope that we could pass more proposals of that sort. We would have to know what it is that people want first, and then we would be able to have proposals given to the city council from there.
Change.
The Black Panther Party have been feeding people and clothing people and feeding breakfast for children programs for over 2.5 years, and whether it's election time or not, this in itself indicates that we will be doing this beyond election time, but we'll be increasing the programs on a massive quantitative scale, and especially if we take seats in city council seats or poverty board seats of any kind.
Are these materials that will serve the interests of the people? For instance, programs for... There's one proposal that was brought up last night, as a matter of fact, that after the new members were seated for the board, and that was to have a youth involvement program that would give drug counseling, medical care, psychiatric counseling, educational things like that.
California.
Are you pleased with the results of that?
Bible Conference, Saturday, June 24th at the Oakland Auditorium. The Black Panther Party, with many other groups and organizations, has organized another community survival conference with 10,000 free full bags of groceries, while at the same time pushing the voter registration drive forward by hopefully registering over 10,000 voters and administering free 10,000 or more sickle cell anemia tests.